Hello and welcome to RenoPInball. I'm going to be doing something a little different tonight. I'm going to try and stream a couple games, so we'll see how long it takes me to switch the gear up between games. If it's a total failure, I'm sorry, but I wanted to give it a shot. Also, I apologize. It sounds like someone is running their weed trimmer right outside the window here, and if that's the chance I run starting a little bit early, but hopefully they're going to be done soon and it'll quiet down outside. Anyway, again, thank you for joining RenoPInball for the stream. I think I'm going to be alone tonight, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to play a couple older games. Seems like I see a lot of streams of newer stuff, and maybe the old ones aren't that exciting, but little nod to history tonight. I'm going to start. Sorry about that. I'm going to start with Nitro Ground Shakers. This is the game that kind of started it all for me in pinball. I was an artist for about 10 years, graphic designer for about 10 years, and I wasn't into pinball at all, and I saw the art for this back glass. So Dave Christensen did just such an amazing job with art, and this back glass really stuck out. I was kind of a car guy, and I saw this art, and I didn't know what it was, to be quite frank, and this was maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago? About 10 years ago, I guess. And I just had to do the research and figure out what this art was from, realize it was from a pinball machine, and then that kind of started my love of pinball. I did not own this game until about a year ago, I guess just about a year ago. It took me a while to find a nice one that I wanted to own. And I got one, so we'll play this for a little bit, see how we do. The rules are pretty basic on a game like this. Basically, it's got 4 drop targets. You drop those 4 drop targets one time for 5,000 points, twice. The second time through, you'll get an extra ball. I do have extra balls turned on. And the third time through, it lights the special. It has A lane, B lane, C, D on those 2 targets, E and F on the in lanes. If you complete A, B, C, D, E, F, you light the super bonus. If you do it twice, you light the nitro bonus and the special. The scoop in the top is an important shot to get. It rotates around based on pop bumper hits, sling hits, and spins of the spinner, but it can light double bonus, which is obviously huge. And it'll also light the spinner for 1,000 points of spin. The bonus collect on the side here. When the game starts, it only is in advance, so it advances your bonus lanes up. And your goal by hitting the center is to get the collects lit, so you can collect those, and then you'll also collect them again on the drain. I can't think of much else. When you collect the bonus, you do not collect the super bonus. Those are only drain bonuses. Those aren't mid-game bonuses. So anyways, again, I'm alone tonight, so I'll do my best to look at the chat, but I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do that. So I apologize if I miss any questions. Anyways, thanks again for watching me play pinball. We'll get started. One of my favorite features of this game is the kind of engine revving background sound. I don't know, it appeals to me a great deal. Similar to Sea Witch, which also appeals to me with the wave crashing background sound. I do have a Sea Witch sitting right here next to my Nitro, and I definitely want to stream that. But tonight we're going to do Nitro Ground Shaker and Swords of Fury. I definitely like to get my lanes as early as I can because I want that super bonus. But I also want to get that extra ball if I can. So to get the extra ball, you have to do some work to get the... Oh, quick outline. Next to the ball, you have to do the drops once to get through them. It does remember that ball to ball, so if I drop them once on one ball, I can get the extra ball on the second ball. Now, if you're playing in like a tournament setting where you see a game like this, usually it's light to spinner and then spinner all day. That's kind of the game. And I don't disagree with that. Definitely, the spinner's a pretty safe shot. You can get it lit like that, and then get it onto a flipper. And hit that spinner. You know, the points go quick. Certainly faster than like 4 drop targets is 5,000 points, but that's 1,000 a spin. So you can see that that's just enormously more. I mean, that makes kind of trying to get 5,000 useless. And in tournament mode, now I'll get a collect since that's lit. Ooh. In tournament mode, there is no extra ball, so there's no use in trying to go for those drops. So that's why most of the time in tournament mode, you'll see just lit spinner and spin. Anyway, that was game 1. I can do better than that, I'm sure. So if you have any questions about this game, let me know. It's a beautiful game. It may not be the most interesting to a lot of people, but I think it's a great game. I think it plays well. I think there's enough to do in regular play. Man, that feed is killing me though. Oh, you might notice that the C and D are tied together, so, man. You can, in the settings, you can tie them together. So, for example, if you roll over the E, you can light the F automatically. If you hit the C, you can light the D automatically, and A and B. You can tie all of those together in the settings. Well, actually, C and D and E and F you can tie together. I don't believe you can tie together A and B. But anyways, I believe I have C and D tied together, and that's it. Call those some warm-up games. Some warm-up games out of the way. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. See when it bounces over. Oh. Okay. Play better here. There's the B. Overlight my spinner. Give me a bonus collect available to me. That's a tilt. Tilt is pretty tight on this game. And that's mostly because I was having tournaments on this game when it was in my location. And I didn't want people beating it up. It's a nice game, and I just set the tilt tight. Frustrated a lot of people. But, you know, when you own nice games, sometimes you have to be careful. I mean, not be careful, but make sure people are careful. This was a better way to say that. Okay. This is also a great game for stall ball. Anybody who plays stall ball at, you know, pinball events or wherever you know, get together, you have a bunch of people and you're playing stall ball. This one's great because you can launch to a stall, and it's got 2 stalls and various ways to get to them. So I thought it was a really good stall ball game. It's a lot of fun. You know, for people who are good and people who, you know, are newbies at pinball, it's nice that you can get something on the launch. So this can just randomly, you know, go on that, and people feel like they have as good a chance as anybody. And they really do. I think that game is a great playfield leveler as far as skills go. It's very rarely no one's playing for a high score. Man, that lanes are killing me. Get some warm-up games going on here. It's a bad flip. Oh, come on. That's a better start. See if I can do something with it. I cannot. Try that again. What I did last time was I was able to just do a little quick tap pass to get it to this, because this really doesn't do a post pass. When you can do it, that was a pretty good post pass. Normally it doesn't work that well. It's interesting, it went under that one-way gate, so it's been like perfect angle. Should have been able to save that, blow it. Man, can't hit that cup. Nothing. Okay. So I only have the E left for that super bonus. And you can try and shats the lane, and with the break in the metal on these rails it's kind of hard, but if you hit it good enough you can get a roll up. It's not very often though. You have to be coming with a lot of speed. Not really measuring my plunge, and I should. If I wanted to hit the cup every time, I would measure it out on my scale. So now if I clear those targets, I get an extra ball. I would love to light that spinner along the way. There it is. Finally. Oh, lit the spinner and got the targets on the way by, and the last letter. That was good. That was good. So specials points. Really, the objective at this point is just, again, build bonus, rip the spinner, A, B, C, D, E, F. If I go back through the drop targets 3 times, I believe I will get another extra ball. It's a lot of chopping wood over there, though. Really not gonna go for the drop targets anymore. So there's a terrible flipping. This playfield is very fast. One of the reasons why it's fast is I do have a playfield protector on it. The art is in such nice condition. I just wanted to protect it as well as I could. So I know it changes the play to a degree, but I think it's worth it for this kind of security, I guess, if I would say, of the art. Come on. I have a flaky bulb in that pop bumper. It should be staying on. There's no reason for this pop bumper to be on and off. So that's just the light bulb. Not a fan of some of these older Valley electrical connections, and the pop bumper connection is definitely one of my least favorites. Just the A. Wow. Up and over. The nice thing about games at home is you can fail and fail and fail. You try and figure out a game or try and figure out a shot, the geometry of a table, or even practice things like a tap pass if you want to practice a tap pass. It's hard when you're spending quarters to do that. It's pretty good when you're not having to do that. Games are quick. I'm certainly, would love to hear feedback if nobody wants to watch this kind of a game. I certainly understand. And just let me know, and certainly this kind of a game is better if there's more than one person, so you have some competition. But I'm here, so this is what I'm playing. There's only one way to get better, right? And that's to keep playing. So with nothing done, it's just best just to go back up top and try and get something. Of course, you get that frantic ball like that, and then you question it. Whew. Let me try that post pass again, because normally I wouldn't post pass on this game. That's not bad. That's that last one. It loses it. I will remember, so I'll have that extra ball lit for the next one, next ball. So I can get that extra ball, ball 2 here, hopefully. Come on, go somewhere. Okay, give me something there. Yay. Oh, with the B, nice. So just the E is all that's left. I can't tell you an easy way to get it, hopefully you can get that in lane. So you can bounce it backwards up into it. It's not that kind of a game. And it sucks to have to want an in lane, but that's pinball. That was my goal up top there. See, now I have both of the collects lit, and I got 5,000 on the top saucer lit. So that's about as high as you can take that. Oh, I actually did that. Wow, that was surprising that happened. Oh, wow. Just luckily, though, got that shoot again. Fortunately, no hold bonus. I keep my super bonus, but there's no like bonus holdover. So you start with your bonus new every time. But at least you do get to keep a super bonus if you get one. And I'm only, I'm a few letters away from the other one. There you saw the C and the D were tied together, so that one hit got both of those. And I'd like to get back up and get that A. That. Probably should have loosened the tilt for home since it's no longer being played as part of a tournament, but that still keeps it protected. Little better game. You can see you keep the super bonus because it was an extra ball, so it thinks it's the same ball. So you get the bonus because it's basically the same ball in the game. But now it's gone. And you can see that my targets have reset again for the 5,000, so I can get another extra ball by getting those targets some more. A slow roll off of that is just death. 264 is better. It's probably the best score since I did some adjustments to the software. Yeah. So anyway, so that's Nitro Ground Share here. I'm going to play a few more games. They go quick by myself, but I'd like to play this for like an hour and then switch over to Swords of Fury. There's more to do. Try and play for maybe a couple hours of Swords of Fury tonight. That's kind of my plan. So once it gets to be about 8 o'clock, if you don't want to watch this and you want to watch Swords of Fury, come back about 8 o'clock, and that's when I'm going to try and switch over to Swords of Fury. 8 o'clock Pacific. So I should be doing this, and I'm going to go ahead and start now. See if I can't figure out what is that going to do. This is halfway. I always try and start with a game I don't know for sure. I start halfway. The whole theory of cut it in half and cut it in half and cut it in half till you get to where you want to be. Oh, bricked off the target. These are new targets, so they're a little stiff still. So halfway sent me up and hit inside. I got the cup luckily, but what I'd rather do is get the cup kind of cleanly. So let's go a little under a half. We'll do one line under half. And you can see one line under half just wasn't enough. So that's a pretty tight window between the kind of hate that. It's bounces of death. Or bricks off the target. Those will get better as they wear in. It's like valley targets, you gotta hit them soft or not at all. Okay, well this game is junk. Sometimes I'll do that when I'm playing a game and it's like, well, this game is kind of junk. I'll think about like, well, what do I want to practice on this table? And I'll just spin a ball, do an attack pass or whatever, not really thinking about the game itself. But I don't want to just restart a game. You know, I may as well take that ball or two balls or whatever's left and practice a skill. And gets that. That's nice. Bounce. Perfect bounce. Now I'll get the other collect because it's on that side, so that's a good one. Definitely, you know, as I've said before, I'm a collector first and a player second. So part of this whole journey for me for pinball and for streaming is to improve the skills. which is obviously greatly needed. I know that I'm not the best player out there. But hopefully, I can get better. So I'm trying to find this. I don't really have this shot clean, so it's not a great game. There's no reason to try and get it over and flip. And so I'm just going to try and figure out if I can figure out where this shot is. So I was too low. You'd think I'd have it, considering it's basically the same place that the spinner is. I think that I just have, you know, a ton more practice hitting that spinner, because it's, in my opinion, more valuable. But an all-around play, again, not playing for the highest score all the time, sometimes playing to see if I can get everything done with it. So it's stuck on top of that target, so again, that's how tight the tilt is. I had to tilt it to get it off. Okay, so back to this. This hits that scoop. Oh, so that was very close. I'm pretty close on where I want to plunge it. Sometimes, some games, that's half the battle. I was afraid to bounce too high because of the tilt in this game. I wanted to bounce it off that hard, but I thought I would tilt if I did. Certainly another good scoring strategy would be if you can get this shot to that scoop, to that cup, saucer, whatever, and you have the collect bonuses lit. I mean, you could definitely, you know, back and back and back and back. As long as you don't, you know, as long as you don't, actually I don't know, I don't think though that you're ever going to lose that lit lane. The only thing that changes when you hit slings or pops is the top one, which lights it. I would really like to get that shot down so that I could employ that strategy on occasion where it makes sense. Lucked into it, but I'll get the bonus increase and then I'll get that countdown on that side. So it's a great thing. I'd like to get the other side lit. So let's see if we get lucky with that. Stop it. After this game, I'm going to loosen that tilt. It'll just take a second, and then I can maybe get a little more action out of the table. Okay. Let's see if that's any better. Definitely better. Well, now I can shake it. That's good. Didn't tilt on it. Save it. Didn't tilt. Like to just roll over the B. Okay, flip my super. To like that spinner if I can. That extra ball now if I can. I thought it would bounce over. Bad play by me. Now I can get some play out of it though, so that's good. Oh, thought it's nothing. You see my slings are pretty tight, you know, based on, again, trying to put games play hard. I don't want to learn how to play, you know, games that are set up easy. I feel like there's really no use to that. If I want to play, it needs to be hard. Wow. I probably would have rolled in if I would have just let it alone. Oh, I'm missing the east on the inlay, okay. hot shot and I should have slowed down. Oh, lucky. Extra ball on the targets, so I'm going to try and shoot those. Even though the spinner value, so that was good. One target and the spinner is always nice. Oh, now I've got both lit, so I can collect both on that shot if it sticks. Although I don't have, I have the 10. It's not a ton of bonus, that's definitely better. What I really need though is to build more bonus. Oh, yeah, ugly outlet. So I could never get the E, unfortunately. So one more ball though. Then we get the E. I think 500,000 is a pretty respectable score based on setup. If you're used to watching new Stern pinball, it may seem like it's not, obviously based on score and based on ball time, but these games are just, ball times are shorter, games are harder. Harder to get long ball times on a game of this era. No multi-ball, no ball save. See, I could have bounced it out, but I wanted the E too badly. I got greedy thinking I'm going to bounce it in there. See where we're at time-wise. Another couple games and we'll switch over. That was pretty good though, 414. Getting better. Maybe I'll put that one in here just because who knows if I'll ever get better than that. Sorry, having to do this alone. Probably should have just dumped this. Okay, let's go again. If they got the low targets here, out of that cup is pretty predictable into them. So I always feel like that's a good chance, but it's just not going to go up high enough to get that last one. So let's see if I can tap pass it over. And the pressure's on, and then miss the target. Oh, that was bad. Anyways, I got the extra ball, so still ball one technically. And again, I keep the super bonus. I'm going to do the A, B, C see again, get the Nitro bonus. No collect was lit, so that was really just that. So now my real goal is the B lane. I've got everything but the B lane for 30,000 points. So I needed to go over and then up. Let's see if I can post pass it. Okay. It's an interesting post pass. It's a little bit of kind of a delay pass. You gotta wait a second for the ball to just roll down just a little bit to get the angle off. Oh! That's what I wanted. Now I got the Nitro bonus. So now it's game really of light spinner, hit the spinner. I've done pretty much everything I can do. You'll see the special light move side to side, so you don't get it on every out, it's only the lit out. Oh, that was terrible. Sling, 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 out. So the big difference in that game, although I got the 30, that's only 10 more than the 20, right? But I didn't have any bonus collects. So that 100,000 less, almost 100,000 less than my best game, I got a couple good bonus collects off that last game. That was really the difference. Again, I was trying to get the E and failed bad. Didn't want to bounce it out, so wanted it there. Not a good strategy, obviously. Not as bad as that. So now again, ball 3, low score like this. I'll just take this opportunity to see if I can get it on a flipper and practice the timing, practice where that shot is. Because I still don't really have it. I've hit it a couple times, but not like I know it. Okay, see, this might be the last game. See how I do. The scoop's a success on the top if you can hit that cup, obviously, especially if to light the spinner. But I feel like if I get 2 letters, if I get one of the in lanes and hit those targets, I feel like that is also a success. Because that's 3, that's half your letters done. Jeez. So you can kind of see the scenario with the drop targets. I want to hit the cup because if I hit the cup, I got a good chance of bouncing into those. So that's kind of silly to just go for those. I should just try and get up top. Especially with the spinner lit. It's like that's a bunch of points by itself. Wow. Perfectly terrible. One more letter, the F if I can. It advances it 3 spaces. I don't have anything to collect, but at least it advances it. Whew. Wasn't ready for that. Bad flipper skill on my part. Okay, 7:56. This will be the last game of Nitro Ground Shaker before I take a break and switch games. Terrible. It's time to stop playing this game. Hit my threshold for the night of this one, I think. Nasty feed. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed Nitro Ground Shaker. I'm gonna switch games now. Be playing Swords of Fury here in a few minutes. Hold tight. I'll be as quick as I can. Okay, almost there. Sorry about that. Just adjust this display camera a little bit. Okay, so Swords of Fury. This game is practically famous, almost famous just because of one man anymore, you know. Scott Denisi obviously loved this game. This is the Lion Man game. This is, you know, if you've seen TNA, you've seen that there's, you know, Lion Man mystery collects that are worth nothing. He's just paying homage to this game. I think this is a great game. It's one of my favorite games. Basically, the big deal is the jackpot. On the back glass, it's the jackpot counts up as you play and hit things to advance it. And then to collect the jackpot, you have to be a multi-ball. Once you're in multi-ball, one of these targets will rove with lit, and you have to hit the lit target to collect the jackpot. It's fun. You can steal locks. Again, a game that's better to play with multiple people. Obviously, no one's going to be stealing my locks. But it's got a lot of great shots. The U-turn is a great quick back to the flipper shot. I like three different ways the ball can drop based on what the light is. And the sound is pretty awesome. Challenge me! So, let's get started. Yeah, just hearing it, I love the music. It's great. Really isn't a skill shot per se, except just trying to get it up on the flipper so you get these targets, which will increase your bonus once you knock down full sets. Each set is harder and harder. What I mean by harder and harder is the reset time increases for each time that you clear them, so it's easier for your ball to get in the back and get lost behind there. I've completed them once. So now I've got 2x. This game's really about your 2x, 3x, and multi-ball. The multi-ball shot is here. You can make it. I always let it bounce over and bounce back. That's the safest way to get your flipper on it up here. And if you can hold it, you get to the point where you can hold it and let them reset, now you're in good shape. I only have one more to get. The second one to get. Lion Man! Lion Man! Ideally, once he screams Lion Man, I need to go up that ramp.
Go for the tunnel.
Good. You can lock one ball that way. I'll have to search when it resets, it'll pop it out. There it is. My second 2 balls locked. Just the last target. It restarts everything, and now they take a while to reset. But my goal now, get the multi-ball started and then get a ball up there. Great game, but obviously, you know, some tournament issues with this game because it's heavy on this jackpot, and I will assume any decent level player can get that pretty easily, and then has to build back up. So I've never like seen this. I mean, I played it in tournaments, like local, you know, tournaments, but I can't imagine it in a bigger tournament, given that kind of is a problem. Okay, so now I'm in multi-ball. Hopefully I can just catch at least 1 ball up there, so that keeps me in multi-ball. This flipper alone, I can get up there. Kind of break that. So this is kind of a perfect set. One hit the center ramp. Oh, although see how I'm not lit to go up to the top? So that's a bad thing. So it's the middle, so I'm gonna go here. That's not what I want. Jailbroken. Now I'm on the lower light, so now it's just going to feed out to that flipper, so that's not good. I need to move it again. Oh, double drain. That was bad. So you see, it's kind of interesting the way that that has 3 different feeds off of that ramp. I like that upper, I don't know if it's a ramp, that ramp. Yes, it's a ramp there. So that's the basics of Swords of Fury. Very fun game. Great sounds. I don't necessarily get up here to increase my bonus. I'm not that skilled of a player, so if I'm here, I don't waste the opportunity to try, but I don't shoot for it directly. Or specifically, I guess.
Go for the tunnel.
Oh. Yeah. Can't really see the score, can we? I don't know if I can make that better or not. Hold on 1 second. It darkens it up quite a bit. I'll try and move this camera really quick. Sorry for the low production value here. Try and better or worse? The same? Worse? It's kind of ugly reflection happening. Bring it down. Okay, well that'll have to do. You can kind of see what's going on there, score-wise. Sorry about that. That reflection. Very different game than Nitro. It takes me a little time to get used to the different, I guess what I would call generations of flippers. These are very different.
Go for the tunnel.
Lion Man!
And does have a center post. Good warm-up games. This game certainly was modified, at least with LEDs before I got it. I do kind of like the strips here. They're kind of nice. They definitely brighten up. Seems like they were hidden back here, but they actually do brighten up. Plus it's got the spotlights. So this game, which is normally a pretty dark game, is pretty light. Pretty well, I think.
Go for the tunnel.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
You'll notice that another thing this game has is some really cool, like, touched up with the paintbrush art on the tip of the sword. The lion on the sword is hand painted. I'm really hoping that Hardtop gets their Hardtop out for this game. I'd like that to be good. I think that'll be a fun, good project. I've never done a hardtop before, so I definitely would like that to come out. It's on the wrist, and then I can, make this game hopefully good or better than new. Good as new. Never be better. One modification that I've made to the game is I put a lightning flipper for the top flipper. I just felt like a full-size flipper hung over a little bit, and I would hit it with this flipper when I would come on top too much. So I just wanted it to just be a little bit shorter. It doesn't really affect gameplay for that single flipper. But to me, it just fits the player, it fits the layout better. Bad. I should have been able to bounce it off that. Wasn't in my mindset to do that. Yeah, sorry that it's just me. I know this is a lot more fun. I think that's what's on my mind. It's a lot more fun when there are more people playing, but certainly appreciate anybody who's watching and look forward to many more streams. do something about the light. I don't know what to do though. So just be in the dark. Play in the dark. Sorry about that.
Go for the tunnel.
Lion Man!
So that last one, and one. Slow down. Finally, played out better.
Found power 1.
Okay, I'm gonna slow down and try and get this now.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
Flailing away, not hitting anything. Finally. Second ball locked.
Found power 2.
Okay. Whoa! Didn't go.
Challenge me!
Can't see it, you can kind of hear it. You kind of hear how long that takes for those targets to reset. So they stay down a long time and just, then you just have a big hole that takes you back on top of the table.
Lion Man!
It's pretty hard to do it with four drops for a long time.
Go for the tunnel. Found power 1.
So since it's in the middle, I know that that ball is actually going to launch out when I hit it live. long, so I'm not gonna get to go up here, and you gotta be ready for that. Quick ball coming your way. Get that last one if I can. I've got 5x. Now they stay down for what feels like ever. There, they just reset. Oh, one more.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
This is in target. Got it. I'm going again.
Found power 2.
It's going to feed out. You just know which light is lit to know where the ball's going to feed out. Okay, so I've hit all the targets, so now I have the magic special if I can knock all these down. One more. Got it. So that was pretty cool, special awarded. And it will stay now at 7x. So I'd like to start my multi-ball. If I can. Another rolling. I think actually these flippers are a little too high. They need to be drooped just a touch. And it would make that shot more attainable. It's not supposed to be as hard as it is in my opinion. Yeah, I think I just want, you know, in my opinion, that was pretty good. 2 million. So if I could, yeah, I think that the flippers are both just up a little bit. They should kind of run parallel. And they run flat, which a lot of people set them up flat, but I don't think flat is accurate. I think that they should droop just slightly. On this game, for example, I think that the bolts that are holding that plastic in should line up with the tip of the flipper. That's how I like to set this up. So normally like to set games up, so I think that this is either they've drifted just based on time and, you know, maybe they weren't super tight enough. So I need to make that adjustment, and I think this game will play a lot better. So I still have the 2 balls ready, but this all starts over again. So we basically have seen that all the way to the end, which is cool. But no reason to hang out up there much more. Sorry, it's gotta wait for the ball search. Got a ball stuck on one of those targets up there. So this is how long it's going to take this to find. I really don't want to tilt. It's a good game. Let me give it a second. There it is.
Go for the tunnel.
Bounce it over. Bad bounce. Fall and bounce over. Not getting a good bounce over. See, even that, the bounce over should be lower. And if that flipper was lower, the bounce over would kick to here instead of to there. So I apologize for that. The game is just not set up how it should be set up. Okay. Let's go again. I'd like to get that 4 million jackpot. Apologize. Yeah, that is right on the tip. Should not be that deep. Okay, let me get the third ball here. Terrible. Terrible. This is kind of where I think I know how to do something. I'm better off just playing and let it come naturally, because when I try and do something, I don't have a lot of success with it.
Go for the tunnel.
So again, I'm on the wrong lane up top for no reason. I cannot get to the upper playfield right now. Now I can, so I'd like to trap up if I can here. And when you miss, you miss. Just done. Start over. That's bad. Didn't even get an attempt at the jackpot.
Challenge me!
Take it. I was lucky. I'll take it.
Found power 1.
That was me just fumbling around.
the tunnel.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
Found power 2.
Oh man. Okay, I can do this.
Challenge me!
That was me trying to get a softer bounce over. Failing. I don't know what that was. Me sucking.
Free the Titan!
Go for the tunnel.
The goal really here is to get a couple under control. You don't have to be in all three.
Found power 1.
Hang it.
Found power 2.
Okay, that's 2. See if I can get the third lock. Oh. Takes those forever to reset. Okay, so multi-ball. So you should be able to see the roving letter up top. You gotta hit the right letter. You gotta hit the lit letter to collect the bonus. To collect the jackpot. Wow, that was just the worst. And that easy. That quickly you're out. There's no save, there's no nothing. Start over. Hey George, man, how you doing? Thank you. Yeah, this Swords of Fury I was saying is love this game. So much fun. I'm doing great, thanks. How about you? I am just playing pinball alone tonight, so a little quiet, a little uneventful. But I got a beautiful Swords of Fury, so I should play it.
Challenge me!
Bound power 1.
Oh, that was slip. 2.
Bound power 2. Go for the tunnel.
Oh, that was a terrible shot. Oh, good to hear. Like I said before, apologize for the dark lighting. I did a game switch midstream. I wanted to stream 2 games, so I couldn't get the light on my face for this one, so I blew it. But I appreciate you coming on. It's a private chat tonight.
Go for the tunnel.
It's okay though, I suppose. There, come on, get there. Okay.
Freeze the Titan!
There's multi-ball. Again, I want to hit the roving target during multi-ball to collect the game jackpot. In order to do that, I really need to get control of the balls. I got a ball top, which is good, ball bottom, which is good, and I've got the lane lit so it'll actually feed there. And now you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but there's one light that's roving on the top, back and forth. And that's the one you have to hit to get the 4 million jackpot. Problem is the stage flippers. Do that.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
Okay. Ah, but see now it's switched. Fortunately, the lanes have switched. And I wasn't paying attention, so I blew it. It's a very hard thing for me to do. I assume that, you know, really good players, it's not that big of a deal, but it's hard for me. Especially hard because of the flippers being up a little bit. If they were drooped more, that shot would be more predictable, and the feed out would be more predictable. So, I do need to fix that. good ball to a bad ball. The first game was Nitro Ground Shaker, so I streamed that for about an hour. Yeah, it was about 8 p.m. So yeah, the time code there would be just about an hour, and then I switched over. I don't really know how long that took. I'll be interested to find out once I look to see how long it took to switch over to a different game. I tried to do it as fast as I could as a test to see if that's a viable thing to do in the future, so I could stream 2 games a night instead of just 1.
Challenge me!
Okay, I want this jackpot tonight. That was me trusting a bounce that I cannot trust. I don't know why I'm trying to. Again, I don't throw away games. Normally, I'll take a game like this that I have a bad ball on and just try and recover. If I have 2 bad balls, then I'll use that 3rd ball to practice a specific shot. Just try and get a feel for it, or maybe I'll use that 3rd ball to practice a tap pass or post pass or what have you. I have such a specific goal in mind for, now in this game. That's the shot to practice, that's the shot to get good at. Obviously, if you're playing for points or in a tournament or what have you, that would still be the shot to get, This game's multi-ball, multi-ball jackpot. Okay, multi-ball should start. I'm hoping I can catch one up on the slipper. I don't mind that because you only need 2 balls to get it. So this is actually set up perfectly. The top light is lit, so my ball will roll to the upper flipper. I just have to make the shot.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
There's the shot. So now it's just about hitting this rolling target to get that jackpot. So that was it. Woo! Got the jackpot. So I decided myself, so I'll let that go. So that was great. So now what you can see is on the back box where it counts the jackpots, it drops it back down. So now the jackpot is only $500,000. And it'll rise up through game after game after game, and until it gets to $4.5 million is its max score. But that's why this game isn't a very good tournament game, right? Because one player gets $4 million for one shot, the next player is the maximum he's going to get for that same shot is $500,000. It would be kind of cool, thinking of the thought plan, it would be cool if they had, a tournament code for this game that maybe set that at like, 2 million or something, and just left it there. And didn't allow it to build and didn't allow it to drop if you collected it. Some kind of, if they had a ROM that you could turn on for tournament mode, then I think this would be a game you'd see more often. Because it can be set up brutal. You can't save it out of this drain, because it's got the curve for the relaunch, which is pretty much impossible to rattle it out of. This game can be set up very hard. I think we'd see it more often streaming on tournaments or, whatever, if it had a way to make it fair play. I think it's an outstanding game. I enjoy it quite a bit. I had played it and liked it, but I got a TNA first, actually, and then I kind of went down the rabbit hole of how great this game is based on kind of Scott Denise's obvious love for it and the Lion Man character. So when I found a nice example of it, I kind of had to snatch it up. I like all the U-turn ramps. A couple of different ways to get to the top. So that's pretty good. That was a 5 million. Yeah, 5 million game. I'm not going to update the high score. Again, being by myself is just too hard to manage that. So we're just going to not worry about that for this game. Yeah, it's a great game. It was on my list for a long time, you know, until one showed up. I picked it up out of Oregon, and I'm super happy with it. Like I was saying before, if you look really closely, it's got some badly hand-drawn, hand-painted, like with a brush artwork that was retouched. This is on the hardtop list. I hope they have this hardtop out soon. If they do, I'm definitely going to buy this hardtop, and that'll be a good project, is to do a hardtop on it and make it like brand new.
Challenge me!
Bound power 1.
That got me to 2x. 2 times through those targets. They're going to start getting harder and harder. Oh, I killed myself. Well, the thing that's interesting about those targets in the top, you get to reset, so I'm back to 1x, but the targets are still hard to do. The targets seem to not coincide with the X. They just keep track of how many times it's been done. So although I'm still basically, for this ball, trying to do it for the first time, you can see that or you can't see me. That's how long they take to reset. You just heard them reset. So that's really hard to, past ball 1, in my opinion, it's really hard to get that magic special. So I'm glad I was able to do that in one of the games tonight. That was pretty cool.
Go for the tunnel.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
When you hear the game scream Lion Man, what you really want to do is hit this middle ramp. That's your Lion Man kind of bonus collect. You got to do it very quickly though after he screams Lion Man. When she says go for the tunnel, when you hit an in lane, this is the tunnel. You can see it light up. But for me, it always seems to happen is it's rolling to this flipper, which doesn't help much for that tunnel.
Lion Man! He beats the power!
Okay, another multi-ball. So the bonus is only 500,000, so not quite as important. So I'm just gonna probably not even really worry about that. Just try and play some good shots, multi-ball shots. That was terrible.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
Oh, couldn't get it on a flipper to try and hit that.
Challenge me!
think this game has great sounds for the era. Just hear the music, hear the song for a little bit. They did a really good job. Callouts are obviously outstanding. The Lion Man and the battling sounds are great. Oh, I'm gonna make it.
Bound Power 1.
So I think this card game is great, and it's something about this game that's great, I think, is that the balls that you lock are community balls, basically, I guess. Same as like TNA. Most of the games of this era, locks are, they call them locks are stealable, but I don't like that term stealable because I think that they're get locks in the game and they're available to whoever plays them. If you don't get them during your ball, they didn't steal them from you. They're now community locks. I really don't like it when people complain about lock stealing is unfair. It's like, well, no, lock stealing is a part of pinball. Lock stealing is a history of pinball. Lock stealing is, you know, I mean, everyone talks about they want great risk-reward pinball, right? You want to build a bonus to $1 billion and then have one shot you have to hit to get it, and risk-reward. What's more risk-reward than multi-ball? You know, if you're afraid of that you can't get a multi-ball started, then don't lock balls. I can't think of anything more risk-reward than that in pinball. So it kind of annoys me when people talk about how, you know, they don't think that lock stealing is fair. I'm like, well, I disagree completely. I think lock stealing is a part of pinball. It's a part of an era of pinball. And I personally love it. I love the risk reward of playing with friends or playing in tournaments and having the guts to lock a ball that you know you may not get to play. Maybe somebody else's ball to play. I mean, it'd be like saying that zipper flippers from the, you know, 50s and 60s are unfair because they can close and then the ball can't drain. It's like, well, it's what pinball was then. I think you have to play pinball based on the era it came from, not based on a game rule set of today. In fact, I'd like to see more games with lock stealing because I think, again, the risk reward of a lock steal, the risk reward of a community ball lock is great. I mean, there's one, I guess maybe they are starting to see, I see, right, that's that New Jersey Jack game, the Wonka game. It's the Wonkavator, right? That's kind of a community lock in a sense. Retains from game to game, player to player. I don't know. That's my soapbox argument. I'll get off of it. Oh, that was lucky.
Bound Power 2.
So you can't see it, again, I apologize, it's on the back glass, so you can't see it on the score reels, but my jackpot is now 1.5 million. So it's a couple games and now it's up to 1.5 million. So it doesn't take really that long to get up. And certainly at 1.5 million, it's worth trying for. If you can get yourself set up. For me, it's all about the setup. If you can get your setup correctly, the balls are going to feed. The biggest deal is getting the ball correctly to feed to the top play field at the right time. Oh, bad error. I'm going to get used to playing with these flippers like this, and I'm not going to be able to play when I put them back how they're supposed to be. User error. Community locks. Yeah, community locks. I mean, that's a fitting term. Lock stealing is not a fitting term, I don't think. Because until you've unlocked a multi-ball, is it really yours? Until you've gotten a ball in play, is it really your ball to play? And if it's not your ball, then I didn't steal it.
Challenge me!
Not as intriguing when I'm here playing alone, obviously. Oh, that was my mistake. I should have let it come up off the post.
Found power 1.
That was a lucky bounce of a ball over the plastic, over the top flipper, into the ball. So there, in my opinion, I stole a lock. That's how you steal a lock. I just stole that lock from the game. Okay, this is a terrible game. Talking, thinking, can't play. Okay, we'll forget about that game. Let's see, what time is it? A few more games tonight.
Challenge me!
Appreciate everyone who stuck through or watched both or watched one. Sorry about the delay between the change. Hopefully this gives you an idea, taste of what my collection looks like. That was bad flipping. Somehow got me to the right flip anyways. Oh, I like that. Oh, wow. That was not good.
Found power 1. Go for the tunnel.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
Mistake, that doesn't kill me.
Found power 2.
Okay, I'm gonna play one more game, then we'll call it a night.
Challenge me!
So car alarm going off, and I thought it was mine, so I wasn't paying attention there. I think it is.
Go for the tunnel.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
Found power 1.
Lion Man! Lion Man!
It's taking so long to reset now, it makes it really hard to get those lanes.
Found power 2.
Both the N1s. Got it.
Lion Man! He beats the power!
So I did what I wanted to do there. I got to hit the in lanes, and now I've got the light lit for the right ramp that I need. Now it's just a matter of hitting this shot up the ramp. Catching it, hitting the rolling shot. Do that, and you got the bonus, the jackpot, which was, how much was the jackpot? 300 and something? Oh, I'm sorry, 3 million. Obviously, good points. And that's the game. I mean, that's basically your goal. And just, you know, do it again.
Found power 1.
Bonus up. Get that miss. Get that. Oh. Get these. I'm at 6 now. These are going to stay down forever, making this very hard. No. So over 4 million with the ball left. But again, I'm back to 1, and that they're staying open like it's still on 6, or whatever it should be. So I assume that's how it's supposed to be code-wise, but it certainly makes it harder to do that in repeat sessions. feel like if it's going to continue to be that hard, or if it's going to be that hard ball after ball, then maybe you shouldn't lose your bonus. Maybe you should be able to hold it somehow. Or maybe they should have to be easier. Although, it's a small thing. It's great. Love this game. Okay, well again, RenoPInball. You find us at RenoPInball.com. Selfie leagues, tournaments in the Reno, Nevada area. Love to see you. Myself, I'll be attending Golden State Pinball Festival in a week. So, you know, if you see me walking around, I'd love to somebody to come say hello, or they saw me on this stream and play some pinball together. That'd be awesome. And if you're anywhere in the Northern California, anywhere in Oregon, California, Nevada, you know, radius, you should definitely be going to the Golden State Pinball Festival. It's a great show. We've got a new tournament this year that I think is going to be a lot better. I know it's the same week as the big tournament in New York, but for us West Coasters, this is a good tournament for California. And great games on free play. I know there are going to be Black Knights there to play. I hear there's supposed to be Wonkas there to play. So, you know, look it up, Golden State Pinball Festival, and I hope to see you there. And if I don't, I'll see you next week. I'm going to stream next week for sure, right before I leave to go to Golden State. So, thanks everybody. Have a good night.